before. Welcome. I'm so glad to see you all here. I'm so glad that you all could join me. You might have a little hard time seeing my face, but I wanted to share with you this magical light because I know that we're all in different places all around the world. Um, this light in this moment is why we're here and what we're doing right now. So I wanted to make sure and share it with you. It's always so incredible this time of year. So before we get started, I'm going to cover what the Lionsgate portal is and why it's such a potent moment. And then we're going to do some activation together. Before we start, grab a journal if you don't already have one. Close the door, find a quiet place, somewhere where you can be all by yourself and really drop in. And also, you all are going to all get a recording of this. So if you miss part of it or have to step out for a minute or something like that, don't worry about it because we got you and we'll send you the recording. Okay. We'll just keep letting people in. All right. So settling in. Thank you all so much for being here. What I've noticed in the last few days is that the internet has gone wild with Lionsgate Portal. And I just noticed there's so many people offering all kinds of activations and classes and things like this. And I thought, oh, everybody caught on finally. This is a thing. So the reason that we're here and my background or history with this moment is that 6 years ago, I was in Finland, where I spend my summers and where I grew up spending summers. And Finland, if you haven't been or don't know much about it, it's really such an amazing, magical place. And it imprinted on me growing up here something really important about connecting with nature and being in stillness and being in these magical moments. And spending my summers growing up here was such a sharp contrast from spending my rest of the year growing up in the US. And it made me really want to spend my whole life seeking Finland inside of me, seeking a life where I lived connected to nature and the magic of life. And life just felt like amplified here. It felt the volume of life always felt turned up and more happy and more joyful. And so I started seeking that and finding it through meditation and through Reiki and through living close to the land and learning about herbalism and farming. I spent years living off grid in a tent and a teepee and a yurt, and started then learning about tea and traveling the world to try to find the most ethical teas and learning about culture of tea all around the world. And that's been my career, but it all started here in Finland. And it all started with this deep connection to nature and bathing in the saunas and fishing in the lakes and eating under the midnight sun and spending all this time outside in this magical light. And so 6 years ago, I was in Finland and it was August 8th. It was this day and I'd gone for a really long walk. And on the walk, it was like I got transported to some kind of fairyland. I don't know what happened to this day, but everything was lit up and it was just like I was floating through the universe. Maybe you've had this kind of experience before where you just feel so connected to nature and so connected to spirit and so powerful. I felt so like my dreams were right there for me to manifest. They were just like not so far away, like when I dream of things I wish or want, but maybe my thoughts or limiting belief stories get in the way. It just felt like anything was possible. And I felt full of potential and powerful and lit up and alive. And it was like the most glorious day, like you can see it is here today. And so I came back hours later and I thought, what the hell just happened to me? What is going on? This is the wildest thing. And I started doing some research and realized it's August 8th, it's Lionsgate Portal. And then I found out, oh, this is a day that humans have been celebrating, stretching back millennia, and that temples in Egypt are built in congruence with this day. And it's this day where the sun is in alignment with the star Sirius. And so it was believed to be in various cultures the spiritual new year, the most powerful, most potent day of the year, a time of abundance, a time of manifestation, a time for leveling up and coming into the next iteration of your being, the next level of ascension, your next level, right? So there's like iPhone 1 through whatever, we have 20 now. So this is like you with the next version the next upgraded version. And then I started diving in deeper and realizing that the light in this day and this moment in the portal, which opens on July 25th this year, it did on the 26th, I think, and then it closes on August 12th, is this window. It's this pocket. It's a portal. It's a way forward. It's a way through. And towards your next version, your next up leveling. And it's a really powerful magnetic time. So anyway, all of that. And I thought that's feels so true. And having grown up here, spending time in this light and in this moment, I went, oh, that's what that magic is that I've been feeling. I just didn't know that it was something that other people noticed or shared as well. And so I thought, wouldn't it be so cool to bring people here to experience this light and to spend all day outside and to eat wild foraged foods and to hold ceremony in the old forests and to swim in these glacial lakes and to be wild and to be free and to be part of these sauna rituals that are ancient in this culture, and just to receive this light and to find the stillness that allows us to find our clarity and our truth and our realignment and our up leveling. And so with that, Mystic Finland was born. And of course, because I dreamt it on this day and because I was in this light, it just so naturally happened and manifested. And so all these things fell into place in the next 12 months. And so for the past 5 years, we've been holding this retreat, Mystic Finland, and bringing people here, women here. Sorry for the men on the call, but it's a women's retreat that we're here, but that's why you're here now live, because it's for everybody, not just for women. And so we've been gathering here. And what I've noticed over the last 5 years is that when people come into this space in this culture and this moment and these rituals and these practices, that they are manifesting and they are up leveling and they are having these wild experiences. And I have seen people's lives change massively and profoundly from the intentions that they set in this week and the experiences that they had and the rituals that they kept and the work that we do. And so then I thought, wouldn't it be cool to share this out in the world with all the people, not just the, handfuls of people that can come here and spend a week in Finland with me, but actually whoever wants to join in online. And so here we are. Thank you so much for coming. I'm really excited to share this light, these rituals, these botanicals, these practices with you. So I should have introduced myself before, but I kind of did through my background with Finland Story. If I haven't met you yet, hi, my name is Sarah Scarborough. I am tea huntress. And like I just said, growing up here in Finland is where I learned everything that I know. It brought me to learning about the earth and the cycles and rhythms of nature and living in attunement with them. It taught me about herbalism and ultimately tea and the practice and ritual of tea, which is completely life-changing and transformative. And that's what I share through Tea Huntress, through the events, experiences, retreats, teas, and classes and workshops that we offer. Okay, so diving into these practices, I want to preface all of this by saying that in this world full of pills and programs and protocols and processes that ultimately kind of create stress and pressure that make us feel like I'm not enough, life isn't enough, I need to up level, I need to ascend. There's this in the spiritual world or manifestation world, or, become a better you, become more aligned, become more in flow, get more in touch with yourself. There's a lot of, it can create a lot of pressure. It can create a lot of anxiety or stress, or maybe feeling like I'm not magical enough, I'm not manifesting enough, I'm not capable of this kind of work. And so I want to tell you that this is probably the most grounded, real world pocket corner of spirituality on the internet here, because what I know and what I've learned and the kind of work that I have come into that feels like magic, the kind of experiences that I share that are transformative, that are aligning, they're really grounded in the earth, and they're really grounded in everyday practical magic. And they're all ways that I've just learned growing up. The women in my family taught me about their clear dreams and their clairvoyancy and being sensitive in the forest and how to make medicine out of plants and ants and how to align with the cosmos and the moon. And these women were not witches and they were not woo woo, and they were very, classic, almost even conservative women who would kind of maybe turn their noses up at a lot of the ceremonies and incense and feathers and things like that I sometimes partake in. Like my mother likes to judge me, or she doesn't quite maybe understand it. So I just want to say this is grounded. This is real. This comes from the earth, and this is not something that's not available to you or achievable by you. It very much is. And it's the way humans have been living with the earth and connection forever. And when we can turn off our screens, when we can come and spend time on retreat or in nature, and when we can calm our nervous systems and just absorb the wisdom of nature around us and the beauty of it and the wonder of it, it is transformative. And that's the kind of magic I like to share and teach and practice. And so all that to say, it's very available to you, and you are doing it right, and you are enough, and everything that you already have created and everything that led you here today is your own life force energy, seeking more connection and seeking more nature and seeking more alignment. And that's all good. And we all are growing and ascending all the time. And a lot of what's going on within us and around us with the cosmos and astrology and the Lionsgate portal and these other sacred moments like the solstices and the equinoxes, they're kind of happening anyway. And so we can create sacred space and we can carve out time of stillness to be in wonder and connection with it all in our lives. However, these things are happening anyway. It's kind of like, it's like the, that's not a good analogy. I was thinking of a church analogy, but it's like, I don't know. It's like when you go on vacation and you can hike the same trails all day long and you can think, here I am at home and I'm in my problems and I'm in my head and I'm sorting things out and I'm on my trail. But then when you go to another beautiful trail somewhere else, you are like all full of amazement and wonder because you're in Japan and you can't believe that these trees are so beautiful in Japan. And like the sounds of Japan and the smells of Japan, and you're so open to it all. You're so receptive to all of it because it's Japan and because it isn't home and because it's foreign and because it's exotic. It all of a sudden feels more magical and more alive and more interesting. And if you take that same sense of sensory openness and wonder into your everyday life at home, you might start to find that, oh, there is magic right here in my backyard, right here in my everyday, and I can cultivate it by being open to it. And all these practices and rituals that I teach and that we carry with us every day that help us to just be more, to open the door to more of the magic of life. And so this is what I share through the teas that I share, the ancient and wild teas that hold this ancient plant medicine and this transformative energy and frequency. We sit with these teas because they transform us and because they connect us to the pure potential and the energy and frequency of the earth and the wisdom and the sense of wonder and magic and all the other kinds of rituals that we keep, from meditation to yoga to women's circles and men's circles and all the other things are all just ways to open the door to more of the magic of life. And so you are enough. It's all right here. You're capable of it. We've had women on this retreat today who started out this week being like, I just don't know if I'm magical enough. I just don't know if I can create magic, if I can manifest, if I can, I'm at my job, I'm in my life, I am being a good mom or a good wife or a good employee or employer or whatever. And I just don't, I'm called to it. I crave it. I sense it, but I don't know that it's something I'm capable of. And so I want you to know that we all are. It's our birthright. It's what humans have been doing forever. And to tell you also, to share that in the course of the last 5 days on this retreat, these same people who 5 days ago were feeling like maybe I'm not magical enough, maybe I can't manifest, maybe I can't change my reality, are now feeling completely, firmly, fully in their power to do so and are actively doing so. And the creativity is online and the the flow and the manifestation and the freedom and the sense of joy that comes with it, it's all right here and available to each of us. And it really just requires being in these practices, being in these circles, being in these moments. Okay, so that's all just getting us here to where we are today. But I do want to walk us through some very basic introductory rituals and practices that we can practice, that each of you can practice today and tomorrow and the next day and even the 12th before this Lionsgate portal closes and the energy starts to dissipate. So we're in this magic moment. Just because the 8th today is the peak of it doesn't mean that it's going away. You have it for the next 3 days. And will you guys mute yourself? Because I don't know who it is, but I hear somebody talking. Very curious about what you're saying, but just mute if there's background noises. Thank you. So, okay, so a few rituals to begin. So on these days that we're in the portal, the things that are going to help you to get into your flow and to receive the energy of this light in this moment are, number one, you want to spend as much time outside as you possibly humanly can. Eating outside, walking outside, sleeping outside if you can. We have a really big eclipse coming up in 4 days. So that's when the portal ends. So we're actually in this really potent cosmic moment because we have Lionsgate portal peaking today. We have it closing on the 12th. And also on the 12th, we have this really potent new moon eclipse, which is like the closing down of this and the beginning of a whole new cycle. And that's what the Lionsgate portal is. It's the beginning of a whole new year. And we celebrate the new year in January. But in a lot of our daily lives, the end of summer is the beginning of a new season, a beginning of a new year. Kids go back to school, people are going back to work. There's like a new fresh start beginning. So in the spiritual world, this is the new year. So it is a really big time to start. And this year in particular, because of the huge new moon that we have on the 12th, which is an eclipse, this is a really, really good time to set these intentions that we're going to set today and do together, and to activate them in the light of this moment. So again, spend a lot of time outside. The light that we're receiving right now, and you're receiving it right now through this window, there are codes in this light. And if you're not used to working in the sense of codes, nature holds codes, ancient teas hold codes. There are codes in the ancient ways. We all hold codes and know in our body. It's our truth. It's our knowing. It's our beyond reason and beyond thought, knowing and truth and wisdom. And it lives within each of us and it lives within nature. So the more that we can connect with that, the more that our intuition and our wisdom come online, the easier time we have making decisions and solving problems and finding our creativity and things like that. So the codes in the light are up-leveling us just by being in them, just by soaking up the sun, just by being here in this window pane with me right now. So spend a lot of time outside. That's number one. And again, none of this stuff is really hard. You just have to do it. Number two, get into flow state as much as you can. So the sunlight, this moment, this portal is amplifying your ability to manifest and to get downloads, to get creative downloads and those aha moments, those clear moments where the veil is thin, where you're more in your wisdom of your body and your heart and less in your thinking mind. You're more awake and open to wonder, joy, spirit. These are moments and times that you're already more magnetic. You're already more alive and turned on. And so you want to get into flow state as much as possible in these moments. And that can mean a long walk down a country road, in the forest, somewhere that ideally doesn't have a lot of cars or, hot, fast, loud, noisy stuff. You want to be in nature. You want to go for a really long walk and not with anybody and not in conversation, but just all by yourself and not listening to a podcast or really even any music. However, if you do listen to music, it can be really, really beneficial to listen to Hertz frequency sounds. So to go for a really long walk with 888 frequency, and if you're not in the habit of listening to Hertz frequencies, you can find them wherever you listen to music, and tune into the 888 frequency, tune into some of the other frequencies. You can Google it and learn a little bit more if you are curious. But tuning into these frequencies really helps align us with our up leveling, with our potential, with our own up leveled energies and frequencies. They, we're made of water. They work on an energetic sound frequency level, just like sound healing. And so they can be really powerful. And I can tell you from personal experience that when I've been sitting with these sound frequencies, they really have a story I kind of want to share, but I'm trying not to take up too much time because there's more that we want to do. But I remember one time I was in Sedona, which is a vortex. So vortexes are places that are kind of like these portal moments that we have, like the Lionsgate portal, winter solstice, summer solstice, that just have their volume turned up, and that we can get into these places in the vortex sense, and also these moments in the calendar wheel sense. And in these moments, we feel more amplified, more intuitive, more creative, more connected to spirit, et cetera. So anyway, I was in Sedona and I was tuning into these creative frequencies, and I was just receiving so many creative ideas for my life, particularly that were really good ideas that were really going to that were sort of like, oh yeah, obviously, why am I not doing yet? It was like solutions to problems after solutions to problems after solutions to problems in this moment. And it can just be really, really powerful. So if you want to tune into some frequencies, it's a really good thing to go for a long walk and tune into the frequencies at the same time. But if not, then just go for a long silent walk to get into flow state. My favorite way to get into flow state, of course, is to sit in silence with bowls of tea, at least 3 if you don't have a tea practice already. I'm not going to be teaching that today, but tune into one of my classes where I do. Tune into my, I have the Art and Ritual of Tea course if you want to learn all about the ritual of tea and ways to share it to enrich your life and to get into flow state. But the long and short of it is when we sit in silent ceremony with ancient teas, the kind that I share through Tea Huntress in the ceremonial collection, it's the kind of teas that have genetic integrity. They are from cutting, not from seed. They grow in wild areas where they've not been planted. They just are true and native, potent and pure to the earth. So these kinds of teas have their volume turned up. So when we sit with them, they are Earth's original plant spirit medicine. They guide us, they heal us, they connect us back to the energy and frequency of the earth. It's, if you haven't sat with tea in ceremony, I invite you to do so. I hope to see you on a retreat. I hope to see you in these classes. It really is such a transformative practice, but it's also a beautiful way to get into flow state. And it's a beautiful way to connect with the alchemies of earth and water and wind and fire, and to sit with these bowls of tea. So you want to have at least 3 bowls and to have them in silence or else playing some meditative music. You can light a little aloes wood incense, but the simplicity of it is really just a pinch of wild or old grove ceremonial tea leaves, and then filling the bowl with water, slowly sipping, receiving what you receive, and having at least 3 bowls. So that's another really amazing way to get into flow state. And then we all have our own DAOs, our own practices, our own ways. How do you like to get into flow state? Is it journaling? Is it free writing journaling? Is it moving? Is it dancing? Is it playing music? Is it swimming? Is it singing? Is it, again, the long walk? There's a lot of ways to get into flow state, but get into flow state, do it in the next 3 days, be in silence, open to it, be outside, receiving these codes. This is the time and the moment to do it. So you definitely want to make time for that.
This is really bad.
Before, hi, will you just mute if you are, if you're not muted, if you can just please mute yourself. Thanks. I think that's Tony, but I'm not sure. Okay, so we're going to do a journaling practice that's going to help align us with our intentions. And so you want to You want to just grab your journal and grab your pen. And if you can please mute yourself if you're not already muted. Okay, and so we will begin. And this is just a really simple ritual for finding alignment on your path. You can do this anytime you want to. We're going to come up with 3 intentions. And the way that ritual works is that ritual is just any intention, any practice, action that is aligned with an intention. And so the first step is to pick our intention, right? In a world where we can be anything we want to be, we can do anything we want to do. So we've been taught it can be really overwhelming and hard to pick and find what your intention is. And so this simple practice will help you find your intention. And the way I like to look at ritual is that it's sort of like cultivating a garden. And so in a seed catalog can also be very overwhelming. There's 50 kinds of tomatoes and 50 kinds of green beans and flowers. And so it can be hard to pick, well, I don't know which one to put in my garden. I don't know what's going to grow well here. And so the best thing to do is to tune into what you are currently in your life working against. And then we're going to turn that into our affirmation and our intention, the seed that we plant into our garden that we then return to every single day to water and to weed and to tend to and to shade and to ultimately harvest. And so this is how ritual works. We choose our intention, we plant the seed, and then we return daily with these different various kinds of rituals in order to help the intention grow and to manifest and to sprout. So this is what tea is all about. It's about coming into still, quiet, silent space with the earth medicine that tea is, and then aligning on our path. Okay, so we're going to first journal. And I want you to write down 3 things that are looping in your mind right now. So 3 things that you find yourself on a regular basis thinking over and over about, how am I going to fix this problem? Chewing, looping, not really coming to an answer. And the things, 3 things that if I was a magic genie and I had a magic wand and I said, I have 3 wishes I can grant for you, what would these 3 things be that you would have me fix? What are the 3 things? And often they are things like my financial situation, my relationship, my job. They can be limiting belief stories that we hold on to. They can be things about our health or things about our body, things about where we live, the community that we have or don't have. So we're going to take the next 5 or so minutes and just write down in your journal what these 3 things are. And we'll just allow the thoughts to come. If you want to do 1 or 2, you don't have to do 3, but don't do more than 3. And I'll play us a little music. And we can just receive these light codes, spend a few minutes journaling. And as you write, just to tune into your heart, try to turn your thinking brain off a little bit. Just free flow, let the pen flow and write. Just sort of ruminating on 3 things that are in this moment actively feeling like they're holding you back or constricting you. Oh, I'm just reading too. Can you guys hear me? It sounds like maybe the sound has been bad. Usually I have, okay, thank you. Okay, good. Thank you so much. Usually I have Yasmina helping, but she couldn't be here today, so she's usually managing. Thank you. Okay. I didn't actually turn any music on because the sheep were bleating and the wind is blowing, and I thought that maybe these nature sounds would be a little bit more conducive to the practice. And sometimes the music doesn't come in that well. I'll turn it I'll turn it on anyway.
Tomato, just fair. Good. No, it was good. It was good.
Guys, can you mute yourself? If you're, unless you're asking a question, maybe, but yeah, go ahead and mute yourself if you haven't already. Okay, I'll turn some music on. How's that sound? Can you hear it? Okay, we'll take 2 more minutes since we got a little sidetracked there and just finish up writing right now in this moment where you are, what you'd like to change, what you're looping on, what you'd have a genie shift for you if she could. Ah. Okay. So thank you. Hi, Alice. I put my glasses on. I saw your note. Thank you so much. I did figure out how to mute everybody. And again, sorry, usually Yasmin is doing this for us. Okay, thanks for your messages, you all. Thank you for making this great. Okay, so what we're going to do next, and maybe some of you have done this with me before, we're going to flip our limiting belief stories, the ones that we just wrote down about, and we're going to flip them into their positive opposites, and then we're going to turn them into affirmations. And so what we know to be true, what the Upanishads taught us, what many ancient texts and practices have taught us is that what we are experiencing in our own lives in every moment, every day, is a figment of our imagination. And what we believe to be true in our subconscious minds is what we manifest to be true on the outside. And this is true and it's real and it's science and it's quantum physics and it's not even really all that interesting. It just is. However, it takes work. It takes the work of shifting your energy and doing that through embodiment practices, doing that, like literally changing your mind, which is, there's so many ways that can help you: meditation, breath work, plant medicine to change your mind. But this is the work that needs to happen to shift ourselves on a subconscious level. And so often we look at what we don't want, what we're experiencing that we don't like, in order to connect with what we do want, what our affirmations are, what our intentions are. And another thing that the Upanishads taught us is that our desire, your desire, is your destiny. The desires that you hold, the things that create bliss and excitement, that make your heart beat faster and put butterflies in your belly, those are your beacons on your path. You are all here to live your highest expression. You're all here to live your most joyful expression and your most aligned expression, because what makes you happy and what turns you on is not the same thing that makes me happy and turns me on. And we all have our own dream. We have our own story we want to live, and things, some people want to live in the country in a cabin. Some people want to live in a city. Some people want to work with horses. Other people want to work with metals or art. And so, we're all just so different. And so we all have our own unique imprint. And that is what we are meant to live to do here. Because when we live in connection to our joy and then we tune into our highest vibration. And that's what the world needs more from each of us right now, is for each of us to be in flow in our highest vibration. We do not need in this world any more people, especially not any more women that are stuck in the proverbial, as I like to say, tea bags of their life, that are held back, that are held down, that feel like they can't be full and free and fully expressed. We all are full of magic. We all are full of potential. So it's really just a matter of getting there. So when we can shift our energy, our mind, our subconscious belief system, then we can start to experience more of what we want in our actual daily lives. And a lot of this comes with simple rituals. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip those 3 negative stories and we're going to flip them into their positive opposite, put the words I am in front of them. So for example, if your number 1 was, I am so frustrated with my relationship / partner. This can even be work relationship / boss, colleagues, whatever. Friendship, whatever. I'm so frustrated with this thing. And we are stuck in this mindset. We have manifested that experience, and it's here to teach us something or to help us let it go. And so we're going to flip it. And instead of saying, I am tired of this thing is holding me back, we're going to say, I am let's just say it's our romantic relationship. Like, I am in the most loving, supportive, dynamic, whatever the word is that feels right to you, that you crave, that you long for, that you wish for. I am in the most fulfilling, supportive, dynamic, exciting, passionate, safe, calm, abundant, fill in the blank relationship that I could ever dream of. I am with the partner of my dreams. I am, or if your thing is money, do you all know Amanda Frances? She's an author. She wrote the book Rich as Fuck. She's does all this energy frequency of money work. She's really fantastic. She's very Gucci Prada, not like T Hunter's vibes, but very cool, magnetic, amazingly powerful woman. Anyway, her affirmation around abundance is I have more money than I know what to do with. And so she teaches people to come into this energy and frequency of money's not even a thing. It's not even an object. I just have so much of it. It just loves me. It's everywhere. It's not a thing. My thing is not having enough money. My thing is what's the most potent dream I can dream? What's the way to use the money that I actually have in order to create the most positive impact? And so there's no limit around money and finance. So take your negative, limiting, chewing, looping, unsupportive beliefs, stories, the things that are holding you back. And I know that you believe them. I know they're real. I know they're true. I'm not saying they're not. They are in your life right now, manifesting in this way that feels heavy and dense and stuck and frustrating and all these things. But we're going to shift them, and we're going to shift the energy of them. And I promise you, money back guarantee, promise you that these affirmations work. And once we get them down, we're going to talk a little bit more about how to make them work and how to use them and how to work them in your life and how to most effectively plant them as seeds in your garden in the next few days while we're in this very fertile time. So that's what this is. The Nile in this moment of 8/8 is very fertile too. The earth is fertile. 8 is the number of abundance. We're in this Lionsgate portal aligned fertile moment. So we're going to plant our seeds in this fertile moment. So with that, we'll take the next 5 or so moments so that you can write now on a fresh piece of paper 1, 2, 3 affirmations. And when you're finished with them, they're going to be they don't need to be I am, but they need to be claiming comments. They need to be claiming statements that are the positive opposite of the limiting looping belief system. And so examples of ones that have come up in the past are watch me bloom. I have more money than I know what to do with. I am in the most dynamic, loving, supportive relationship of my dreams. Like, I love my home. I'm obsessed with my group of friends. So you want to put emotion, you want to put energy into it. It doesn't have to be I am, but you want to claim it. Okay, so we'll take 5 minutes and I am going to turn on music and I am going to look at the comments. And so if you need help flipping one, if you need help writing one, just write it in the comments and I'm going to be texting you back. And I am going to put on, you know what I'm going to put on for us is, let's see. Here we go. I'm putting on our 888 frequency tunes because this is perfect for today. Okay, so we'll take 5 minutes, journal. I'm in the comments answering if you need any help. Okay, couple more minutes. All right, so we'll wrap up and just know that this practice is yours. You can always use it, you can always return to it. It's the best way that I know how to connect with, to realign on my path, especially in these portal moments, these potent moments. Um, okay, so now that we have these affirmations, the way to plant these seeds of these intentions in the fertile moment that we are in right now is to speak them out loud, to claim them, to share them with a friend, share them with the trees, share them with the nature around you, share them with the new moon, share them on the new moon, speak them aloud and claim them with energy and excitement and hope and a feeling of truth. And even if you don't believe them right now, it doesn't really matter because this is an experiment. This is a trial. So you're allowed to just have fun with it and you're allowed to be free with it and you're allowed to just make it an experiment and just see what happens. But you need to speak it and you need to do it with truth and with intention and with energy. And so the energetic piece of this is what makes this ritual work. So for example, if you're like, my one friend came up with the intention, watch me bloom. She was in a season where she wanted to come more into her wild woman, more into her medicine woman, feel more free, feel more fluid, more in flow. And so she came up with this very sassy claiming, like, watch me bloom. Now, if she was to say every day, watch me bloom like that and just say it, check the box, it's probably not going to have a lot of impact. But by feeling it, like, watch me bloom, and I am magnetic and I am magical and I am in flow and I am beautiful and wild and I am potent and I am full of life force energy. And to say it with that kind of energy, it's like it becomes more fertile, it becomes more alive, it gets infused with more emotion, and our emotions are what shift our subconscious belief system again, which is where everything that we experience in our real life comes from. So you want to take these 3 affirmations, you want to say them every single day, and you want to do that for at least 60 to 120 or more days. So at least 60, and then sometimes I think actually like at least 120, but 60 is good. And you just need to speak them with intention, write them on a post-it note, stick it on your phone, stick it on your mirror, send yourself a reminder, make it a screensaver, write these things down and just commit to it. And especially on the new moon in 3 days, and especially in this moment. So like today, tomorrow, the next day, when we're in this new moon plus Lionsgate energy, it's really a great time to do this. Go for your long walk, turn on your 888 or other healing frequencies, get into flow state, write these intentions down, remember them, and you can craft them in your mind. You can make them more potent, you can add details, you can like add a little verb or a little sass or a little bit more energy. um and and then you can add other rituals and ritual tools in order to amplify them even after this window has closed. So make sure you state them today, make sure you state them tomorrow and the next day and the next day in the new moon Lionsgate portal energy, but also make sure that you continue for 100 days, 60 days. And the reason why is because it takes at least 44 days, according to science, for us to rewire our minds and to create new neural pathways. And so this is how we change our belief systems, because we get in our, it's how you can't teach an old dog a new trick, because we get in our mental pathways, we create mental pathways, our brains are wired for efficiency. And so we start to skip over the details and we just go straight to these belief systems that we don't even question any longer. And so when we want to create a new belief system, we have to come up with this positive opposite, speak the intention, start to believe it, and then find evidence that these new ideas are true. And so the more we can create evidence, then the more that we can come into the truth of the new way of being and keep our minds young and fresh and awake and alive. And this is the better way to live anyway as we age, to not get stuck in our mental systems, to be open, to be curious, to be flexible. Um, and there are a lot of herbs that we can take to support our neural pathways being more agile, more limber. And they are green tea is a really good one. They're the nootropics. So Sky Temple, our green tea. Bacopa is another amazing herb for mental clarity, and even just simple peppermint. And you can find this in your garden. You can find this, we sell it online. Potent peppermint can be good for awakening and allowing the brain to be more flexible, creating more connections in the brain. We have catmint. We have all the herbs that are in dream work, mugwort, and I guess, again, Nepeta, the catmint, the catnip, the other mints we have. Herbs like blue lotus and blue butterfly pea flower, the one in moon milk, that can help to expand our mind, open up the upper chakras, and calm our mind and heal our mind. And so drinking these herbs, drinking your moon milk, if you haven't had moon milk, everybody loves moon milk. It is our actually very most popular tea. Formulation with blue butterfly pea flower in it. Try our Dreamwork tea, try our Sky Temple, the green tea. Try also alchemy, which is a liu bao from an ancient tea tree that helps to help your brain find clarity and depth. So these are botanicals that you can also weave into your practice to help your mind stay agile and stay fresh and stay young and stay able to take on new neural pathways and to change. Other rituals that you can practice, you can put other rituals behind your intentions. There are 6 categories of ritual. I teach this in the ritual workshop, which is part of the online course that I offer, which actually you all are going to be receiving after signing up for this class, a discount for the course. If you're curious to take the Art and Ritual of Tea, it's an online certification course that I offer that moves through 4 modules: earth, water, wind, and fire, to learn everything about tea, its agriculture, its culture, the different types, how to steep it, how to make your matchas and chais, and how to boil and whisk and steep teas, and the different benefits of tea to body, mind, and spirit. Also, you learn in the wind module, what is ritual, what is ceremony, what is my purpose in life, what's my dharma, what's my ikigai, how do I create ritual and ceremony. You also learn 3 different types of tea ceremony. And then in the 4th module, it's a practicum. And so the course all throughout is supported with recipes and rituals and yoga practices and breath work and meditation in order to help you align on your path and to work specifically with teas and botanicals and ritual in general to enrich not only your own life, but also the lives of your friends and family and communities, and to help you and your community and your family live more free, more aligned, more in connection with nature, more wild, more in flow, and less stuck in the proverbial tea bags of your life. We need fewer people and women in the world that are compressed, condensed, stuck, pressed down, and more people and women in the world who are in alignment with their full potential, fully expressed, fully free, raw, potent, wild, and fully alive. And so that's what Tea Huntress is all about. That's what we love to share. We share it through teas, workshops, retreats, classes, and then our pinnacle course, which is the Art and Ritual of Tea online certification course. So all that to say that this ritual workshop is in the course. It's part of it. I don't have time to go through all the details, but there are so many rituals that can be practiced in order to amplify these intentions. And we do this on a continual basis. So we're never there. We're never complete. We're always learning. We're always evolving. And then the last final thing I want to say is that, again, life is precious. Life can be short. Your breath is precious, your body, your friends, your life, your beauty. Be in it, revel in it, enjoy in it. Our brains are so much there to get stuck into loop and to protect. And the real raw truth of it is that all the wealth and all the beauty and all the connection that we seek, that we long for, that our hearts want, that we work so hard for, it's all right there for us. It's right here in this present moment. It's in these trees. It's in this light. It's in this moment. It's so freaking gorgeous out there. I'm going to actually move the screen so you can maybe see the lake behind me. But get outside, be in it, soak it up, get quiet with yourself, get in flow state with yourself, dance with yourself and with the trees and with the new moon, and let yourself be wild and free and be in these rituals and, roll around in the earth and sleep underneath the moon and do all the wild, weird, witchy things that you want to do that are calling to you. And that's how you find your true self. And we need for you to be your true self. We need all of us to be our true selves and fully turned up, volume turned all the way up, just like the ancient, precious, wild teas that we drink that inspire us. Okay, I've gone over. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. You can find us at hello@teahunters.com. If you don't get your discount code and you want it, reach out. You'll be getting emails about that and other things. I hope to see you live on retreat. I hope to see you at the tea workshops. I actually do have a lot of things coming up. I just haven't had time to put them all on the website, but they're coming up soon. And I'm sending you all heaps of love and all your wishes to come true and make the most of this next few days. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Bye. I love you all.